right. Oh, excuse me. Wow. All right. Hello. Incredible greetings, everyone. Incredible greetings. How is everyone doing? I'm working from home. Wednesday is normally my day to go live, but the kids are out of school tomorrow because it's the end of the third grading period. So I don't know if I'll be able to go live tomorrow. So I was like, let me do my Facebook and YouTube live today, like my weekly Q&A. On someone says Happy Tuesday on Taco Tuesday, and just kind of get this live in. You know, a little clickbaitish. So like whenever I just come on to just be present and to educate and just to help, those types of live videos to me. Hold on, let me flip y'all. Let me flip this to this side. That way I'm looking in one direction. Hopefully it doesn't tilt. Oh yeah, my door that Zanimani pulled the stuff off of. All right, hold on. Okay. Oh, wait, no, now this is in the way of you guys. Hold on. All right, I'm trying to figure this out, y'all. Give me a second. Give me a second. Dang, it doesn't even seem like it's that high to be in the way, but damn it, it is. All right, let's see. Hopefully, if I lower this just a little bit. Okay, it's not fully, but I can look this way and appear to be looking at both. I'm gonna try and look in between, but that's me staring into the light. So I don't know if this makes it look like I'm not looking at y'all up there and looking above y'all head over here, but I can't do both because it's like two different cameras. Like, I mean, I tried to put them like here, but if I go up any higher, y'all are gonna see the bottom of or the top of my phone. So anywho. Listen over there. It's okay. We can see. But yeah, I just didn't want that to be in the way. But yeah. So this is my Tuesday live. I did choose a title, especially on Facebook and YouTube, just to kind of get people, you know, perk up your little ears and your eyes because you see that and think, ooh, some juicy finna go on. Who she finna talk about? Who she finna talk about? Who's scamming? But it's like whenever I just come on and say, hey, let me help you. You know, it's almost like crickets. You guys don't really want that. Some people don't want the help. They more so like to come on and just hear somebody talk some bull crap, you know, controversy sells. Oh my gosh, come on now. Why are you leaning? And I think is it slowly dropping? I can't tell. But my name is Shakeya Lavelle. I go by Shakeya the Professor, is what most of you guys know me as. I don't necessarily use the word craft coach or mentor or guru, or I'm just a professor. I'm just someone who has, for the past 26 years, have been learning, growing, just gaining knowledge in the world of business, design, graphic designing, just creating, what was once a hobby for me. Some of those things that were just a hobby, just started off as a hobby, I have turned it into a successful business over the years, just with the skills that I have developed when it was just a hobby, when no one was paying me for it, when I was sneaking to go to Michael's to go buy things, and when I was obsessed with the sales, I don't know what's doing. When I was obsessed with getting the sales flyer every single week. Okay, something funky's going on here. Hold on. So when I was obsessed with getting the sales flyers from Michael's every single week, or obsessed with getting the ones from, this is so weird, getting the ones from Joann's or whatever, and having a garage full of stuff that I'm not going to use, throwing away a whole bunch of stuff, never making money off of things. It was just something that was very therapeutic for me, just something that I enjoyed doing. I enjoyed being able to hand make things. I was obsessed with making a lot of stuff from the Dollar Tree, when you're like, okay, it's just, it's just $1, not realizing I spent way more money buying a lot of the little things from Dollar Tree, because it's smaller packaging, smaller quantities for $1, when sometimes if I just went and purchased it in bulk, I'm actually paying less per item. But I did a lot of Dollar Tree crafting. I did these things as just crafts, as just a hobby, and just those skills. During that time, learning how to glue and what's the best glue, and things like that. I've just developed different skills over the years, where some of the stuff I do, even without a machine, is really on a professional level. Like, it could sit on the shelves in any store and hang with the big dogs. And I mean, I've done that for many, 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 many years. And over the past 10 years, I have cultivated a business where I share. What the hell is going on with this stupid camera? Just cultivated a business where I share this information through classes, through videos. YouTube has been big for me. Facebook has been big for exposure. Don't make a lot of money from Facebook. At one point, wasn't making any money at all until I had my paid Facebook groups that I got a lot of backlash off of. Now everybody and their mama is doing it. Have a YouTube channel that, did well. Ever since the pandemic, and kind of like the content of others, my YouTube channel has taken a hit, but I have a business where I teach classes. I charge for my information, knowledge, things I've gained over 26 years. So I come on these platforms still, even though they don't technically I can be doing other money-making tasks. I want to be able to do my part within the creative community, and I come on and try to at least help and answer questions that you guys have. To a certain extent, there are some things that I do keep close to the chest, unless it's in a class, but especially generalized questions that, yes, they can be easily searched via Google or YouTube or things like that. But making that connection, I feel like what we do is very, very unique in how we process information and how we do these crafts. Okay, I have no idea. It's like it just keeps going down slowly, and it is driving me absolutely freaking insane that it keeps dropping. Like, it keeps moving every few, by the time I turn around, it's like it's at my damn belly. Yeah, like it just keeps going like this. So weird. But anywho, I come on these platforms to answer questions. I do not curate, a lesson plan. I know there's some people that come on and, they're sharing something, or there's some people who are utilizing. Am I tilted? I don't know. Who are utilizing social media for what I did 10 years ago. So I'm not saying that, I know some of you guys are liking to watch people just come on and it's just a watch me work. They're not talking. They're not really doing anything. You're just watching what they're doing. Maybe a question. I did that for many, many years. I've been doing this for 10 years. A lot of people are just getting into this social media or just doing like video content and doing watch me works and doing lives. I've been doing it for years. So yeah, I'm not that person that's every time I'm working on something, I'm just going to throw on the camera, because I'm not currently building an audience. It's not an audience that's as big as I want it to be, or I think it should be, but I have cultivated an audience, and I'm no longer doing that every single day. This worked out better for me for teaching. I felt better. I felt like my purpose was being, like finding my purpose and helping others. It was very hard. And it's a lot of people too that I end up talking to, and they're currently in the influencer space or the space of wanting to do video content. And they're starting to realize the things that I have been saying, that it is very hard. You end up spending way more time when you go live. And some people appreciate it. Like they're looking for people just to go live and they want to learn off of somebody doing a watch me work, but that hurts the person doing it, because if you're really trying to engage, which is what social media is for, with the audience, when you're doing stuff, it takes you a lot longer to finish something because you're distracted. You're trying to engage with the people that are watching, answer questions, and that becomes difficult. I found that I was taking way too long for orders. I was stressing. And I just made a decision. Like, I enjoy the teaching part. Well, I used to enjoy the teaching part a whole lot more. Now I'm at a point to where I think the way that people want to kind of learn is more so through watch me works. And I'm just not willing to fully go back to that. That I sometimes I'm like, I'll just come on show my face every once in a while and then go back to doing business. And when I go and I'm doing business, I'm not going to be showing that every single day. Like, I still do some orders and you guys don't see that because I want to actually get work done. And I don't want to just, somebody's like, oh, we just want to see you work. To me, that's like just weird. Like, just to have a camera on and I'm giving away things that like I've worked for many, many years. So I just don't do that. But when I'm on, the floor is yours to ask questions and get the help that you need. Things that are, this is going to frustrate the hell out of me. The things that frustrate you, like this stupid, and I'm so mad. I spent a lot of money on these damn tripods. And it's like over time, they just like, they're not like, no matter what I do, no matter how much I tighten it, it's just, they're not a strong grip. And see, they just do this. They just tilt, and it drives me absolutely insane. Like, I don't understand why it's just tilting like that. But anywho, and so was this one. Like, this is getting on my nerves. It's really getting on my nerves. But anywho, so I do see thank you. This is a Sublimation shirt. We designed this in one of my classes. And you see, now y'all can't see the shirt. So I designed this in one of my classes called the Switch Up. And there was an image that was just a regular JPEG. I taught them how to trace it, how to change out the hat, how to change out her hair. We changed the eyes. We put different lips on it, different noses. Some of them had dimples, all sorts of things. So I have a whole class on how to design something like this and just customize it for yourself. And then this was an added one where there was a big thing in the craft community with the interlocking letters. So I did a video showing how to do that. So that's where this is from. And of course, this is done with our sublimation paper. Honestly speaking, sublimation paper, this was pressed 365. Well, actually, I don't know, because there's one of them. Hold on, I'll show you. There's one of them that was pressed 365, 30 seconds. And then there is one that was pressed at 325 degrees, 60 seconds. I really don't remember which one is which. And to be honest, you can't really tell which one is which. But one of these was sublimated at 365 degrees, 30 seconds. And the other one was sublimated at 325 degrees for 60 seconds. But when you're using the bomb.com, I think this one was a 325. This one I feel like looks a little bit brighter in the face. Yeah, so this one had to be the 325. And then this is the 3. So you can tell the difference there. You can see the difference. See the difference in the face a little bit? 325, 365, 30 seconds. So our paper is thebomb.com if you have not tried it out yet. All right, so I do see a question here. Someone asked about the boxes. So it's not a board. I didn't score those boxes. I didn't put them together. I did not glue anything. I did not make the box. That is one thing about me. I don't feel like everything has to be made. I use something that was already done and made. Because I have an event planner's background, I did a lot when it comes like to paper things and gable boxes. And to me, the big cake boxes, I see them as nothing more than like a big old gable box. So it's just a big cake box, and that's it. I got it from Amazon. So that is what his was done with. I did not glue it like the foam board or any of that stuff. It's a pre-made box. All I did was put a design on the front, back, and sides. I have a question, but I will post it in the group a little later because I need to upload pics. Okay. We'll be looking out for that. And INKcredible Greetings. Hello, hello, hello. We just started. There's not really joining in late because no one has asked any questions, so you haven't missed anything. We've been on for like 17 minutes, and it was more so just me babbling. Afternoon, incredible afternoon. Hello, hello. INKcredible Greetings. Hey, hey, hey. Well, the city girls are going through it, child. So Lord have mercy. But that's my city girl, period. But they going through it, child. INKcredible Greetings, INKcredible Greetings, INKcredible Greetings. Have you done the boxes that they're doing now? What boxes that they're doing now? Do you mean the foam board? That's not a box. So if you mean the foam board, like vending machines, I've done foam board stuff. Am I going to do a vending machine? That's not a trend that really tickles my fancy. Have I done it before? Yes, I have a whole template that I have a couple templates that I created for it. But for me, the amount of work that it takes for that, I just feel like, yeah, the vending machines, yeah, I've done them. I have a whole class. Like, it's nothing different. They're taking the same skills I have taught in 3 different foam board 101 classes where you're learning to cut foam boards and you're learning to glue them together. And it's just a window in it and then finding images of numbers and putting it on the side, putting a thing in there. So I have created things that are like that. I create boxes all the time. I have a set of foam board boxes that I have had for probably 9 years now. No, we are this is 2024. I've had those boxes, those buildings for 10 years. I have created foam board boxes that today Dining Mind still uses 10 years ago. So yes, I've definitely done foam board work and created foam board boxes. I've created custom gift boxes from foam board, but those vending machines is definitely not a trend that, I desire to get into to make all of these things. But if you take my foam board class, you learn all of the skills that you need to do it properly and not have all those jacked up lines. Yeah, I'm not saying you have to sell it, but if you want to learn to make it, my foam board 101 class teaches you everything that you need to know about it. I've had videos. So if you've watched a video of me cutting out a foam board cutout, exact same technique. I did when we did our Silhouette Anonymous month 2, 3, maybe 4 years ago. No, we see the business event for 3 years, so it's like the universe. So 2 years ago, I made a selfie frame. Exact same concept. You're cutting it down, you're going to cut a hole in the middle, and then you're going to just put the graphics on there. So I have technically shown foam board is not new to me. For some people, this is a new phenomenon for them, for the foam board stuff. It's not new to me. I've been using foam board for well over 15 years. Oh, someone says it's freezing on TikTok. No one over here. Y'all didn't tell me y'all were freezing over here on TikTok. Oh my God, this is going to drive me insane. I just need to get, Eva's going to kick my butt, but I just need probably a better stick. I probably need to go find another screw because it's like the screws that came with this Elgato stand sucks. So I probably need to just get another one. And I probably just need a solid pole because these sections is just definitely not working. I took the foam board class. I can't find the class. I took it last year. So yeah, if you took it last year, it would be on your dashboard. Let me see real quick. Hold on. Support students, users. So you took the 3D foam board frames for balloons and lights, not my foam board 101. So that one is a little bit different because that was like more so like design, and we did like that class was really long. It ended up being 2 days because I actually that was probably one of the last times I did like a full-on hands-on where I was waiting for other people to cut and do all that stuff because those sessions end up being 10 and 12 hours. And I'm like, for me, once I do it, I'm doing nothing but waiting for other people to do it. And some people move slower. I think that was probably the last time that I did a start to finish class because that's way too many damn hours. Way too many. But that's the only one, unless you have a different account. That is the only one that I see that you took is the frames and foam board class. So you have to look for the one that says 3D foam board frames for balloons and lights. And that is where you will find some information. But yeah, you don't have the foam board 101 class. Or at least not under this account. This is getting on my nerves. Really getting on my nerves. Was wrapping a piece of foil around the screw and tight. Wait, try wrap. No, it's the screw, like they really put screws that are way too small. That one really wouldn't work for how this stand is. I need, like, it came out like it's literally like this big old stand. If I show you how this Elgato stand is, and you see the little screw that they put in there, it comes loose. So even with foil, like it to me, it barely goes in there. So I need a longer one, like I did for my mounts in the office. I had to put longer screws in there. I just haven't had a chance to go to Home Depot. Thank you for the suggestion. At work now, however, I have a cutting question regarding the Cameo 4 Plus. Can you show, or where can I find the lining up? Lining up the mat. My cuts are always off and not on the mat at the beginning. So the reason why that's probably happening is how you have it set up. Let me go over here. Oh wait, I need to share screen, present, share screen, entire screen, share. Okay, I know you guys aren't going to be able to see. So right here, like the way that the 4, the 3, the 4, the 5 work, they don't have an option to load mat or load media. you just load it. It goes by whatever you have on screen. If you don't have a mat selected, but you put your media on a mat, it's going to it's not going to pull it in enough to start on the mat. So when you go to set it up, if you're putting it on a mat, you must have a cutting mat selected and the proper cutting mat. If you have this set to none, when you load it, it's going to start to cut right at the top, and it's going to be on your mat because the system doesn't know to look for a mat. So this is probably where your issue lies. If you do have yours set up where you have your machine and you have your 12 by 12 or you have your 12 by 24 inch mat set up and it's still doing it, I would literally need to see a video of exactly what's on your screen, how you're loading your mat, and setting it to cut for me to physically see it. So you can do that video and then upload it to our Facebook group. Because outside of that, I would not be able to, like, there's nothing else for me to show you outside of making sure that you have your cutting mat turned on, because it's not like the one and the two where you select load cutting mat or load media. Oh, wait, you guys didn't see that the whole time. Sorry. Here we go. So cutting mat, if it's set to, I hate this dumb feed crap. If it's set to none, no mat. And so as soon as you load it, it's going to start to cut right at the top. It's not going to search for, so you see when you turn on a mat, there is a distance here. So when you just load it, it just loads. It determines how far to pull that, whatever you load in, it determines how far to pull that in based off of what's here. So you need to make sure that you have a mat selected if you're putting it on a mat. If you're not using a mat and it's none and you're just loading the media, it's going to load and then cut wherever it is. Now, I don't recommend cutting print and cut without a mat, but that's just me. She says, you are right. What, you didn't have your mat turned on? This is going to drive me crazy. I swear, this is going to really drive me crazy. Like, it just keeps turning. And I even put double-sided glue or like double-sided tape, sticky tape inside the little groove, and it's still moving. She's like, no, I did not. Yep, see? So yeah, normally there's not too many things that you guys ask of me that I haven't like somewhat experienced to where I usually identify from basic questions. It's like I said, if that doesn't answer your question, then I need to see more. How do you turn off the crosshairs? Crosshairs will turn on for most people because you're trying to type something. Hello, hi, help, whatever. You're normally hitting H on your keyboard. And if you don't have a text box open, you've activated the keyboard shortcut. So just hit H again and it will turn it off. So crosshairs are activated by H, 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 H. When nothing, if you don't have any text box, just hitting H will turn it on and off. We have a video called Annoying but Useful Tools on YouTube. It's a couple of them on there. Crosshairs, center of rotation, and something else is on there. And then we also teach it in Essentials of Silhouette Studio. So for those of you who have joined on because of the title, Craft Scams, the title is The Craft Scam. I scammed you to get on this video, clickbaiting you into thinking that you're about to hear me talk about something very salacious and juicy, and I'm going to talk about someone and they're scamming you and don't buy from them. You probably had someone in your mind. If you saw Craft Scam and you thought about somebody and thought that I was talking about somebody, it's probably because they're known for that in the industry, but I'm not going to talk about that. But if you had something in your mind because of the title, you probably, you probably already know what's going on. So there's no need for me to say that if you came on here expecting that I was going to be talking about someone. So the craft scam is me scamming you with a clickbait title to get you what you need. You're in the right place. You came, some of you guys came for the the wrong reasons, but you are now here and you're here. You're going to stay for the right reasons because you need help with your side hustle, your business that you're trying to curate and build and scale. The frustrations that you have. I just saw someone saying that they're very frustrated with their printer. And then they're like, they've had it for 5 years. If you've used a printer for 5 years, whether you've used it or not, having a printer for 5 years, especially if you let it sit, it's probably time to change out your print head. Print heads can be changed out on the printers. They're not, most times they're really, really inexpensive. Now with inflation, a print head will probably cost you for a 7710, 7720, anywhere from, let's say, 25 to 35 bucks. Again, not very, very expensive to get a print head. A lot of videos, a couple videos on YouTube on how to change it out. Have I done it before? Yes. Do I have a video? No. Do I feel like I need to do a video for everything that I do? No, because there's already content out there that will show you how to do it. But I have changed out the print head on a printer a time or two. And that's why I know like it's easy. The hardest part is, especially with like the Epson ones if you're looking at it on the left-hand side, getting to that little tab can be a little bit hard to like pop that piece up. That's about it. Probably have to try a couple different things to get in there. Other than that, it's not hard to change out your print heads. Oh, wow. And so what was interesting to me about the picture was the color, right? It's almost like when you're looking at it, I've never seen DTF, like, especially for something that's black. It's almost like it was bleached. And that was my concern, was bleached somehow, because it's like, if you look at it, the way the color is at the bottom, and then when you're looking at the part where it was removed, when you think about putting bleach to black, that's what it turns like this kind of orangish color first. So that was the only thing that I thought of. I'm like, did they add bleach to it somehow? Were they trying to do something? Because it has an orangish color, and then there's like, you don't see anything in the bottom part. You can tell that the design was there, but that part didn't turn orange. So that's one thing I could think of. I was like, did they try to bleach it somehow? So yeah. Oh, I'll show it in, I didn't save it. I'm on this one. So I have to, oh wait, you know what? I can probably do it from here though. Hold on. Okay, wait, where's the picture? Oh wait, I think I have to go here. There we go. So y'all can see it now, and then I'll show you guys. So they said that it came off. And so this is the part that I'm talking about. Like, you can tell that there was design here, but it doesn't have that same coloring. And normally, like on something that is black, you see this, that's like a bleaching effect. Like, when people do the bleach shirts, and you're taking like that, like to me, that's more so like, I was like, why is this like discolored and then there's nothing here? So yeah, I'm not sure. Like, that's just what it seemed like to me. Like, did they try and bleach it? Or maybe maybe like you said, they tried to iron over it, like trying to iron the whole thing, and they had the iron up too high, or maybe didn't have on steam, and like they caused that, like they ironed it and it started to come up. So I don't know, because when we're pressing, it's even heat and it's your heat press is coated, or you're gonna cover it up. You're not like ironing right on top of it. So maybe they tried to iron it. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm like, even so, ironing was also my first thought, but then I'm like, this color definitely gives off bleached. So yeah, I don't know. Happy Tuesday, Carrie. Welcome, welcome. Any other questions? If you are just hopping on over on Facebook and YouTube, there's probably some new people in. My name is Shakeya, also known as Shakeya the Professor. I have been in the creative space and just working different things within this industry for 26 years. That also includes many, many years in just really knowing and understanding business and contracts and inventory, and just really learning all those things when I worked at American Airlines Arena. So I have been blessed, and I feel like everything in my life has been set up for teaching, which makes it really, really hard for me every time I think about the fact that I'm always like, I feel like it's time for me to step away. I just feel like the industry has changed, and they'll tell you, like, if you don't change, I'm just a creature of habit. I really believe that there are some things that are just classic, they're just standard, like, and I try to work on like the delivery, but so many people, I think they just want to hear about money, money, money because of the way our economy is. So if you're not screaming money and you're not screaming something saying, hey, I can help you make, you want to learn how to make $5,000, extra $5,000, which, I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be a lie, because if you follow my teachings, if you learn Silhouette Studio, it has the potential. Like, if you put in the work, learning graphic designing, learning Silhouette Studio, it has a potential to make you $5,000, $10,000, $100,000. Just having that knowledge and learning how to scale it, just getting that initial information can be the roadmap for you to make 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures. I'm learning. I'm trying really hard. Like, I feel like I need to be in this, not to say confidence training, but just being okay with leading with numbers first, because so many people will take that very literal, right? When you're like, hey, would you like to learn how to make an extra $5,000, and you teach them Silhouette, and it's not going to turn into $5,000 like immediately. They're going to call you a liar, call you a scammer. Oh, don't take that class. I didn't learn anything. I didn't make any money. Da da da. And it's like, no, this is what's needed. Like, I am somebody that can honestly say, from the same information that I teach every single day in and out, whether I am just commenting on a post, if I am doing a video, these are all skills that have helped me make multiple 6 figures over the course of like each year. So not like, over the course of 5 years, okay, I finally hit 6 figures. No, we're talking consecutive years hitting multiple 6 figures. Having years where you're hitting multiple 5 figures, like just from what I'm bringing in alone, and not my husband's, and not, so technically 5 figures is 10,000. If you can get to that point, but we're talking the, 5 figures is 90,000. 99.9999 is still, technically 5 figures. And I have been able to do that from the knowledge that I have. It's not to say that one particular thing, not just selling t-shirts. Oh, you're going to make $100,000, just off of t-shirts. Depending on what type of shirts you sell, how you sell them, if you're doing custom shirts, if you have a team, if it's just you. I'm not going to say it's impossible. If you're doing onesies and twosies and everybody's getting a different design, it's going to be really, really hard to hit that where you're profiting 6 figures and it's you by yourself. And you have one printer, you have one cutter, you have, you're only utilizing social media. You're not going out and seeking out, figuring out how to get like actual bigger contracts where you're doing multiple orders. I've done orders where I'm doing the spirit shirts for an entire elementary school. I'm doing orders for an entire organization, whether it's a park, if it's a club or organization. I've done large shirts for travel groups, and it's a whole bunch of people going. Like, I've done orders for these, but it didn't come from just doing stuff on social media. So I can teach you the skills that I have in graphic designing, and learning how to properly design has made it possible for me to make multiple 6 figures several years in a row. But just taking a $20 class, taking a $50 class, taking a $100 class isn't going to just instantly get you there. And that's the part for me that's kind of hard when I'm on here and I should be selling and I should be doing everything in my power to get you guys into at least my Essential Silhouette Studio. I have a creative business program that I did. It's a bigger investment because it's about really understanding. There are some people that said, you know what? I'm glad I spent $500 to learn that I'm not ready for this, versus some people where they're buying every machine that you can think of because an influencer said, get this, get that. Oh, well, if somebody, when they come to you, they want a shirt, well, you're going to lose out on money because guess what? They're going to want a tumbler with that too. If they're going to want a tumbler, they're going to want this too, whatever. You want to be a one-stop shop. That is the quickest way to go crazy and to go broke. I'm sorry. Like, I've learned my lesson. I was just saying this earlier. Someone was like, they have an event decorating business and they want to learn like party favors to add that. If I had to do my event planning business all over again, I would still probably do it the same way, to where I am outsourcing. There are things and skills that I like to have to be able to make things for my own kids. I am a DIY person. If I wanted to save on time and sometimes it's not even about like money, it's just convenience, I will hire somebody to do certain things for my kids' parties, but I enjoy doing them. So I like having those skills to be able to do things for my kids. But at the same time, when their birthdays line up with a busy month for me, MJ's birthday is May 20th. I'm still like deep into grad season, where I feel like ever since I like really got into grad season, his birthday has suffered unless I have somebody else do it. So it's not that I can't do it. I don't have the time because I'm working on my own business. So I have to support somebody else's business to make sure that things can get done for MJ. I'm trying to figure out now, like I have so many classes and things like that I'm doing for 365 Creative Academy. Zani Mani's birthday is next week, Friday. I'm probably not going to get to his stuff, touch his stuff, design anything until next week, Wednesday. I'm being so for real. But as far as like actual orders or like clients, there are certain things that I love to do. I love putting the vision together. I can draw it out. I'm going to take what they're thinking and I'm going to make it come alive. But I am going to outsource everything. I'm going to get paid for the work that I'm putting in, and I'm going to support somebody else's business. Me keeping linen, I hate it. Now, when I first started, it's like, oh, well, why should I rent linen? I can buy it for the same amount. Nope. It's certain colors I keep, and those are ones that I can use for myself. I can use them for personal parties, and if somebody needs to borrow them. But that was also an issue where, because I had it, everyone kept thinking they can borrow it. Then I end up not having stuff, or stuff end up with holes in it, stains on it. They don't care. Like I could not stand renting out linen, or just letting people borrow it. when you are responsible for washing it. What most people don't tell you when they're telling you to buy linen, if you don't have a major contract with the big, like, I mean, you're taking bags and like you have a big contract every single week and you're just trying to take it to a regular dry cleaner and not one that specializes in linen, you're going to spend way more money. Most people are renting their linen out for like, well, back then it was like $12. Like now you might pay $15 like for a linen. But if you took that to a regular dry cleaner, you're going to pay more than that just to get it dry clean. If you decide to do it yourself, you're putting it in the laundry. Well, who's going to be the person to iron it all out and steam it? You know how many hours it takes to do that? So for certain events, yeah, me and Even, we would have two irons going and we're watching TV and doing them. It was the worst thing ever. If I ever get back fully into event planning, nope, I am not doing linen. I don't care about it. I don't need my own inventory of linen. I want to order it, have it delivered. It's already pressed. And when it's done, I'm going to throw that shit in the bag. I'm going to take it to you. You deal with that. When it comes to like doing all the party favors, like, because you're trying to make this bundle and everyone teaches you and you do bundles to give people these discounts because you're giving all these services, but it's the same amount of work. Never, I don't do overtime for free. So I'm like, you want to give this discount to bundle up this whole party. So you're making less money, but you're doing more work. You have to design this, create this, glue this, spray paint that, color this, print this, staple this, dip this. I have learned, and hey, if you want to listen to the people that's going to tell you, do everything, do every part of the business. Now, I'm not saying that you cannot have a business that is a one-stop shop, but you as one person cannot be the one-stop shop. A business can be a one-stop shop because they have the employees, they have the systems, they have the structure to support being a one-stop shop. But if it's just you trying to be any and everything to the business, what that boy on TikTok, what's his name, Brown Booty or something? No, I cannot. I would never endorse trying to be a one-stop shop if it's just you and you don't have hired help, not just volunteer work. Oh, my family will help me. My husband, my aunt, my friends will help. No. If you cannot pay them and have a set salary, you should not be trying to focus on being a one-stop shop. I'm sorry. Let's see. Teach great information. We don't have to do everything. You do not. Hey, my professor. Hi. You know, that reminds me of, I'm not sure if you guys watched the show. It's called The Way Home. And it took her forever to realize the painting that says My Catherine wasn't from who she thought like painted it. And that's one of the things that they say, like, My Catherine. So when you say my professor, just reminded me of the show The Way Home. I've had a problem with vinyl cuts. I was doing a cut for text with a font preloaded in the Silhouette program. The text edges were a little jagged. Should I have left the line on the text? So it all depends. You'll see, like, what I want you to do is go to that same file and zoom in on it. Certain fonts will look kind of smooth, especially when you're just kind of looking at them, like when you're about to download them from Creative Fabrica. And when you really zoom in on it, it's actually a jagged font. So zoom in on it really, really tight and see if it's smooth. Not all fonts are smooth. So it just might be the font itself that's making it jagged and not anything that you have done. So I just want to be creative and enjoy my retirement and do things that I love. If I make money, okay. If not, it's okay. What do you feel about DTF transfers? I actually love, the addition of DTF transfers. Like when they came about, it makes it to where you can have something that is a full-on graphic and be able to just print and press. Anything that allows you to print and press. I'm all for outsourcing. I used screen print transfers for a really long time. I still do to this day. They're great for like single color, 2 colors. Once you start moving into multiple colors, even if it's like this, where it is like a vector, it's not a lot of shadowing and things like that. Like, you know, this is something that this could easily be done with vinyl because it's solid colors that can, it's a vector design, solid colors that can easily be cut out and layered. This can be done with screen printing. And you can either do simulate. This will probably be done more so with simulated process versus spot coloring because this is way too many colors for spot coloring. But once you hit over like 3 colors, then screen printing doesn't become as efficient, cost effective if you're not ordering a bunch of them. So if I'm doing transfers, like when I had the schools, I need to do 300 of them, even if they're full on color. I'm going to outsource that every single time. I don't want to have a screen printing press in my home. I don't want to have a workspace where I'm doing them. I don't do them often enough. So I was very, very grateful to find that as an option that you can just submit your design. Someone's going to take it. They're going to screen print and all you have to do is press it. It's absolutely amazing. So when DTF came along, it makes it easier to do smaller runs. Is it as cost effective as the screen printing ones? Absolutely not. Even if you're doing one color, it's still the same exact process. It's still having to put white ink on the back, the powder. So even with one color, you're going to pay the same amount for a DTF transfer where I can get single color screen print transfers for 15 cents, 20 cents plus the setup fee. So I do like the thought of DTF transfers. It was a way to also kind of be able to put it on darker garments. It's the same kind of technology, kind of, sort of, when it comes to like DTG, except with DTG, they put the white down on the shirt first, and then they put the color on top. DTG kind of got a bad rep because at one point you can only use wrung spun cotton. You couldn't just use and that's the other thing, right? The average crafter does not understand that every cotton shirt is not the same. You could not just take any old regular cotton shirt and just put DTG on it. It had to be wrung spun cotton. It's a specific way that the shirts are made in order for you to do DTG on them. You couldn't do polyester in different blends. And then they created newer and better pre-treats that allow you to do other types of garments. So DTG was great, but it had its limitations where you had to use a specific one. So when DTF came along, it didn't matter what the fabric was. You were able to have that design and just place it. But also, there's like the whole topical. It's still topical. It still has a hand feel. I don't care what anyone does, anyone says. DTF is not like the greatest feeling. It can still have a plastic feel. Oh, but it feels like so soft. But you still feel that it's there. To me, it's no different than screen print transfers. So it just kind of like, when you're just new to it and people are just giving information to you, to me, I feel like it can be one-sided. But if you listen to someone who didn't, they're not just recommending it because, hold on. Oh my God, this is so annoying. They're not recommending it just because, oh, I was tired. I'm tired of weeding. I don't want to cut and weed, all this layering. So this is, oh my God, this method is so much easier for me compared to cutting, weeding, and layering. But when you have someone that has tried 12 different ways of making a shirt, each one holds a different, it's just different. You know, I have a roll-in. People ask me all the time about transfers for shirts from the roll-in. I didn't purchase my roll-in BN20 to be able to do printable transfers. To me, Jet Pro 3G, I mean, it's not that much of a difference between Jet Pro 3G for what I was doing. People just wanted birthday shirts. They wanted memorial shirts. They wanted like little simple shirts. So going through the whole thing of rolling BN20 and using Jet Pro, it wasn't this big difference. So it was never like everyone's wanting to convert printers. Oh my God, I can convert this printer to do eco-solvent transfers. People were asking me about it. Okay, what about it? It's no different. You still have to print and cut. If it's a design that has pieces to it, you still have to weed it. It's no different than Jet Pro. Some people say transferring it. Well, guess what? I don't have those problems. I can transfer mine because I buy large heat tape. Some crafters want to just use a small heat tape. Oh, well, what's the benefit? Why are you selling these wide format heat tapes? They're expensive. Why would I pay $13 for heat tape? Because there's somebody who needs the wide heat tape because they might be doing Jet Pro 3G and they need that as a transfer because your regular transfer tape doesn't work. I've experienced all of these. I've had the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs. It's not just a black and white, just, hey, just give this answer. I am one where you ask me a question and you're looking for really like guidance. I'm going to ask questions back to you so I can give you what may be the best option for you for whatever you're trying to, like, whatever your pain point is. If you are somebody's like, I want to be able to do vector shirts, but I don't want to weed and cut. Okay, these are what your options are if you're doing it X, Y, and Z. Well, if you want to be able to do it on demand in your home, then the only thing that I would recommend is not necessarily abandoning what you're doing, but now make it easier. So now you're going to have, if you only had one machine and you're changing out the paper, changing out the vinyl, and it's like all this. So now maybe your solution, instead of getting into DTF transfers or screen print transfers or white toner transfers, maybe it's time for you to invest in at least one or two more cutting machines. That way you can be cutting all of the colors at the same time and you're not loading the one machine and it's taking forever because you're cutting all of your colors on one machine. Maybe just having multiple machines is now your solution. Maybe even just having multiple mats. I know of so many creators and they say they're in business, but they have one or two mats. At any given time, I can have 7 to 8 mats going, and they're preloaded with the next paper, the next color, the next color vinyl. And I'm going to go and I'm going to set all of my mats up. And when one's done, boom, take that out, put the next one. I'm not loading a mat, letting it cut. Then I have to demat that one, put the next color on, load that one. I'm literally going and just changing out mats. Little things like that can change your operation. It can change your productivity. And you don't have to go and outsource. It might just be changing your process. So I ask a lot of questions because it can, may not be just spend more money on transfers. So I do like them. I think that they are a great addition to the industry. I feel like DTF transfers require you to, unless you're going to do like a set size, using DTF transfers, you have to have something in place that's going to be easy for you to calculate costs. It's not going to be the same cost every single time. You can have something that is like small, and let's say it's average, for average is like 22 inches wide. It's a 24-inch media, but you only do 22 inches wide. So let's say based off of that, and you do, let's just say a yard, right? If your design is something like pocket based or pocket size, and it's just that big, you can fit a ton of them, 22 by 36 inches, a ton of them. But now you're talking about like a bigger design for a shirt. 22 inches to fit 2 across. We're talking, if you're going to make it one size, if I have to make something one size to fit a bunch of shirts, my go-to is 11. It doesn't look too small on bigger ones, and it still doesn't look too big on like a smaller shirt. Just takes up more space, but people normally don't mind about that. So mine is 11. You can barely fit 11 inches across, and be able to cut it without like, oh my God, I have to be very, 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 very careful because I don't want to, cut into one design. So you're more so around like 10 3/4, 10.98, just so you can easily cut through it. I don't like having to cut. I don't care if you have a stand that you're going to put your roll of gang sheets on. I don't care if you're using an electric scissors. That is still time that you have to spend cutting all of that shit down. And if it was 100 small prints on this long gang sheet, who in the hell wants to, that becomes more annoying than weeding all the stuff, because you now have to still cut this stuff down, cut down 100. versus I'm going to order a screen print transfer. They have big machines. I'm going to order it. They're going to come pre-cut for me. I'm going to pay for that service. I don't want to do that. So that's like an issue for me for gang sheets for DTF, and then just the sizing. You can't pinpoint. If I order a screen print transfer, I know exactly how much that transfer costs. Even if it's a full color transfer, I know exactly how much one of those designs cost. It doesn't matter if it's this big or this big. If I get it on a 12 by 12 sheet, it's going to be that cost. Whereas DTF, you don't know, because it depends on how many you can fit on there. And then you have to do the math and divide that, however many can fit on there by the cost. So some things, it might cost you $1. It might cost you 50 cents for this transfer. Other ones, it might cost you $2. If you only can fit so many, it may cost you $5. Like if it's only one big print, it's going to cost you $20 or $26, whatever, for one print or for two prints. So it's unpredictable to me when it comes to DTF. I do feel like it serves a really great purpose, but it's also something that is a case by case. So if you're just trying to have a set price, I don't feel like DTF is the right way to go. If you're somebody that wants to have a set price for your business, depending on the way the design is, one time you might be able to fit 3 across, and now your next design is wider. It might be the same height, but it's wider. So if you can't fit 3 across, you can only fit 2 across. But if you say, oh, all of my shirts are this amount, sometimes you're going to lose money. So that's just, I know that's not what you asked for. That's my fault too. My problem too is my mind goes 1,000 miles a minute. I don't know. Maybe sometimes I'm not answering it directly, and some people feel like, oh, it's rambling or it's too much information. But these are the things that go through my head. Like I end up with follow-up questions because I don't feel like it's black and white. Yes, indeed. My wife runs a cleaning company and I do their shirts. And one of the girls always has a problem with the logo peeling because she always is getting harsh cleaner. Oh, okay. That was for LaShonda's own. All right. So let's see what else over here. She says that's a cockapoo because once you say, oh, I have all this stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to help you. We're going to do this. And when time comes, we're going to help you. The answer is I'm busy. Exactly. Oh yes. You can't dictate their time. That has happened to me before. Right. I'm just learning all of that now after 2 years that I shouldn't have brought all the equipment that I did, but you live and you learn. Hello, Tay. How are you? What did you miss? So I do these sessions where I basically just answer questions. I did a little salacious title, because people like drama. So that was just my way of getting them on. I pull you in with foolery, with clickbaiting, to be able to just answer your questions, share my 26 years of experience and just my thought process. I've done I don't think there's anything that I have not done. I don't like epoxy. I don't like the smell of it. It's just too strong for me, but doesn't mean that I haven't at least tried it to where I can say why I don't do it is because of the smell. Some people say wear respirators. I can't stand all that. I have flashbacks. I was in the military. Do I want to go and wear this big respirator where I'm sweating and all that stuff? Hell no. I dealt with that when I was in the military. So to me, epoxy isn't worth it if I have to do all of those things. So I have a lot of experience in a lot of different things. I'm great when it comes to marketing and help with marketing because I interned under the marketing director for a radio station. I've worked with, I've been an operations manager, so I had to deal with the marketing for our coffee company. So there's a lot of different experiences that I have, and I just come on and I just answers people's questions. Everything from troubleshooting Silhouette machines, troubleshooting designs, troubleshooting printers. I am a Shopify partner. So if you had Shopify questions, I've used Etsy. It's just a free for all. Anything that I have knowledge and experience on, I do these live Q&As to be able to help. And this is really, I'm sorry. I'm about to end this TikTok because y'all not really saying nothing over here anyway. And I'm tired of lifting this damn phone up. So I'm about to end this damn TikTok. It is really driving me crazy. It is really driving me crazy. Yes, 100 miles an hour. I get that too. I do a lot of firefighters and EMS carnivals and things like that. They're always asking for firefighter shirts. So I was thinking if the DTF would be cheaper to order them pre-done and then put them on shirts that I already have. If it's a lot of colors, I mean, a lot of colors, it's a lot of graphics, it's a lot of gradients and things like that. Yes, go the DTF route. If it's not, and it's like, let's say a single color, or just maybe even two colors, I would highly, highly, highly recommend screen print transfers. So for a 3X shirt, 11 inch or so is good depending on the design. Okay, if the 3X shirt is the only thing that you are doing, the only thing, my rule of thumb for shirts, like if it's a single shirt or just a single size, like I'm doing mainly like all the shirts in the order are like larges or something like that. My rule of thumb is from the center of your shoulders, you want to come down. Like if you were to fold it, that's the max. So with this one, this shirt doesn't reach what is the max. Like there's going to be space on both sides. What is the max, I'm coming straight down, is like over here. So it may not look like it's like from the top of the design, but the bottom of the design comes out. So following that line and coming down, like that's the max I'm going to make a design if I'm doing something for one particular. Okay, I can't do this. Y'all got to come over to Facebook or YouTube because this is driving me crazy. All right, got to go. Peace. Yeah, I can't deal with this. This thing tilting is driving me crazy. I got to figure out something better if I'm going to do both. So if I'm just doing that, I'm going to make it fit that size. But in the grand scheme of things, if you are doing a bulk order, if you're doing a mass produced order, what I want you guys to do, if you don't believe me, okay, you want to test the professor. Trust me when I say this, okay? You can go into any store right now, and probably the ones that are hung up as far as graphic tees. Take you a ruler or go to the school supply section, get you a ruler, and then put it back, whatever. And I want you to look at every single shirt, preferably something they just put out so that you have all the sizes from an extra small to a 3, 4X. You are going to see Sorry about that. Oh wait, I don't know what all you didn't hear because I did just lose the feed, but this seems like that happened 5 minutes ago. So I probably just because I'm looking here, not looking over there. So you guys probably lost my feed. I'm not sure what's the last thing you guys heard me say. Do you think it's worth converting a printer to DTF? No, I do not. I've always said that. I've never been one that was about converting a printer. I just said that was just too much. Like never, ever, ever in what the 3-4 years that people started them. When we got our ink, our vendor was trying to get us to sell DTF ink, and I'm like, hell no. I do not think it's worth it to convert it. Oh, that's why all the people are gone. I didn't realize I'd been talking for 10 minutes or 5 minutes and didn't realize that I had lost the feed. I saw when it was up there, when I hit continue or cancel, it went away and I had to come back in. So I'm not sure what happened. Can you guys hear me now? And if so, can you let me know what's the last thing you guys heard me say? Oh, well, TikTok, I shut down TikTok. So what is screen print actually? You'll be surprised. A lot of the things that you have come, it's one of the oldest ways to be able to make shirts or just garments, clothes in general that have like what's called a topical design. So there's water based, there's plastisol, and it's a little bit thicker. It lasts a little bit longer. And so regular screen printing is taking an ink. It's an opaque ink. It's a solid ink. So um, it's different than printer ink that's translucent. Now, if you do like a dark shirt, they would recommend putting down like a white base so that colors pop on like dark shirts. But for the most part, you can take a color and put it on a colored shirt and you don't need a base to it. It's just a thick ink. They will put emulsion on a screen. You then take this design that you print onto a, well, now it's even better because it's digital now. But back in the day, when I first started with screen printing, you print it out on a transparency film. Then you have to go and burn it, use a light to burn it into the emulsion. Then you have to rinse that out to expose just that part. Then they take the ink, put it on there. And it's like the most cost-effective way, one of the oldest ways to be able to make shirts. Now they do them as screen print transfers. So instead of screen printing directly onto a garment or, just fabric or whatever, they will print it onto a sheet of paper. And then on the back of that, they put an adhesion powder. They cure that. So you get it, it's all dry. And then once you heat it, it activates that adhesion powder and it sticks to the garment. Okay. Oh, last thing I heard, 3D shirts, going to the store, checking the graphics. Yeah. So I was saying that, like, if you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. Go in and measure them, and you're going to see that they are all the same. Oh, the print size for the 3X. And I know I was saying, probably missed that part. And I was like, there was one time where I had to do shirts for class of 97 for their class picnic. And they had enough shirts to where everything from the small to like the medium or largest, I had one size. And because they had 25 of the other ones, I ordered the bigger sizes as well. And that made it cost effective. Like, it made sense to do technically 2 different sizes. But for the most part, I use one size. Like, if it's a bulk order. Now, if it's, like I said, one per, like an individual shirt, something like that, then I'll do specific sizes, like for each shirt. All right, next question. If there are no other questions, we will close out. This junk is too bright. What was my response into converting a DTF printer? No, I've never, ever. I used to always say, like, why are people doing this? It makes no sense. So no, I will never, ever feel like it is worth it to convert a DTF printer, a printer to DTF. When it, especially, I mean, with like the maintenance on it, now DTF printers are made to where they have agitators on it for the white ink, especially when people were using the 8550. Like, you literally have to take your entire printer and shake it up to agitate. The hell? Anybody got time for that? Because you're converting it, and the printers that you have to convert, they cost a pretty penny. They're not like buying a little $100, $200 printer, and you convert it. Is it necessarily the ink that's making it mess up? No, not really. But if something goes wrong, Epson is not going to give you any support. When you're converting printers like that, and you're investing that kind of money, and there's no support, though, even the ones that are teaching you how to convert them, they can only help you but so far. They don't know about taking a printer apart, how to completely reset it. So if something went wrong, like you can go to them, you can either send the printer to them, they can come to you to fix this printer. They only know like the basic stuff, soak your print heads if your white clogs up. There is no support for this amount of money that you are investing. Whereas when you're getting a printer, yes, I know no one wants, oh my God, they want too much money, but you're also getting maintenance, you're getting help, you're getting access to replacement parts and things of that nature when you are buying from a reliable source. Because truth of the matter is, they're doing nothing but converting printers also. Like, let's get that completely let's just get that straight from jump. There is no specific like printer that it was made for DTF. These are converted printers. The big boys that people were converting, it's like they're taking the guts from that and they're changing the shell. They're adding things to it to agitate the ink, or they're adding things to it, and how, like, the way the lines and stuff are. Like, they're just converting a printer, the guts of a printer, and just giving it a different outside shell. A lot of the printers that they came from, they have pinwheels. They have pinwheels, which you can't have pinwheels when you're printing DTF because if it goes over it, it's going to trail. So they're converting this and taking the guts out, putting it in a printer that has that's gravity fed, and they just have the pinch rollers in the back. Once the ink touches it, nothing ever touches that film again. So that's another big thing too, is having the pinwheel. Somebody converts a regular printer, you lose how much you can actually print because you have to take out all of the pinch rollers, because if you don't take them out, they're going over wet ink. It's going to leave marks on. There's no way around that because it's wet ink going through rollers. So people will take off the pinch wheels or the rollers, and you can still use the printer. It's just that when it gets to the end, there's nothing holding it in place and it can shift and move. So you either have to limit. If you have a 13 by 19 sheet, you can only print 13 to 18 because you can't let that last inch just be in the well and printing over it because it'll move. Or you have to tape it to a sheet of paper that's 13 by 20. So that way it's printing, but the rest of it is in the back. Like it, yeah. So hell no. Hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. How long does screen print transfers last? Just as long as any other like method. If you buy a shirt from the store, most of that is screen print. It's no different than if you were to screen print directly onto a shirt. How long does a shirt last that you purchased from the store? How often are you wearing it? How often are you washing it? It's no different. So there's no specific like time frame. Companies will say a certain number of washes just to answer, because people are asking this question, but no one could ever tell you how long something lasts. I've had shirts that I've worn and washed and washed and washed, and the shirt looks more raggedy than the actual print because it's plastisol. I have shirts that were screen printed right onto the shirt, and after a few washes, it looks like Who Shot John because it's water-based ink and the fibers of the shirt is coming through. So, I mean, it's just think of it as it's no different as long as it's properly applied. It's no different than you going to the store and buying a shirt. Oh my God, look like my aunt. They tried me. Look at that. Look, somebody comes to this video because I didn't put a thumbnail. Look at how they have me looking. I look so crazy. Now I have to make sure I go and put a thumbnail. I look like I'm about to sneeze or something, and it has me looking like my auntie. Oh, wow. That's so funny. I hate sometimes how, like, sometimes I don't want to do the whole, like, I just want to go live, but it's like if I don't put a thumbnail, it just shows a screen grab from, in the thing, and you can end up looking really, really crazy. Hello, incredible greetings. Tuesday. I will provide the information again. How expensive is a screen print transfer on average? It just depends. So they have, like, the companies are different prices. It also depends on how you want to get them. So they have options for what people call like gang sheets. And that basically just means that you can put more than one. So let's say I had this design and I also wanted it small for a hat design, maybe like my logo or something to put on the back of this shirt or put something here. So you can get like regular screen print transfers, and it just depends on how many you order. Hold on, you know what? Let me see something real quick. Hold on, I'm looking for a specific shirt. I'm looking for my cheer shirt from, okay, here it is. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I need one more shirt. I think it's this one. Nope, not that one. Where is my spirit shirt from MJ's school? All right, hold on. I don't think it's in here though. I think that might be in the bag since he doesn't go to that school anymore. Has not gone there for 2 years. I think I got rid of that shirt. Hold on, let me just check one more spot. Okay, I don't have his spirit shirt. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my light up. Okay, so this is a traditional screen printed shirt. Okay, with this type of screen print, this is a water-based shirt. Screen print transfers don't come in water-based. This is normally done from its actual screen printing press. The water-based ink is on there, and they fade a lot easier. Someone like the Arena where they need 10,000 of these. They're not looking to get a super expensive shirt. They just want a cheap shirt. People always say things about like, oh, I don't like gilding. Well, guess what the American Airlines Arena uses? Gilded heavy cotton shirts. They're cheap shirts because they need 10,000 of them. So if you're someone who is hell-bent on providing the best quality shirts and you don't understand people are looking for shirts for certain reasons, not that they're being cheap. It's like, I don't need the best of the best. It's just a promotional shirt. I don't really care what people do with it. These will probably become washcloths. They don't limit this to just Heat fans. If it's a game against Boston fans, they pay for that seat. They're going to get a shirt. They're not Heat fans. They're never going to use it. They may give it away or they may wash their butt with it. I mean, so they're not going to really spend a lot of money on quality shirts. So you as a company will lose out on that bid, not because obviously it's the Heat. They have money, but they're not looking because you have this shirt. You're like, I know my worth and I need to get $20 a shirt. The Heat gonna look at you like you stupid. Like, anybody gonna pay that for 10,000 shirts? Like, let's just be for real. But this is a water-based one. Few washes, it looks like this. Okay. Then you have some where they're making it with what's called plastisol. It's not like it's a thicker ink, and as you can see, the shirt is kind of faded, and you can see there's lint. I've used it. Look at the top. This is very much so worn, but this didn't fade. And you can also hear the difference because this is plastisol. Plastisol ink. The back of it, it's like, it's like, see, it's like a shiny look. Most people, the average crafter would think that this was vinyl, but it's not. It's plastisol ink. It kind of mimics vinyl, which is why there are times where I will use plastisol ink and vinyl on a shirt. The only thing with like plastisol is it can crack if it was not cured properly. It didn't sit in the heat. Like there's different variables to this to where it can crack. Once again, it's a gilded shirt. It has just a bunch of sponsors on the back. So they're not looking for this to be this super, super like expensive type shirt. This is an extra large. Look at the size of this on here. It is small. It is not this huge design. It is very small. Let's see. Compared to this, like, see what my honesty speaking is, its waist is, this is probably only about 9 inches wide. So that's that. This is a screen print transfer that I did. Now, there is a way to get this done in 3 colors. I chose to for the sake of cost. It took me more time to apply them, but cost-wise, it was better because this is two sets of 12-inch, no, one set of a 12-inch transfer and 2 sets of a 20-cent transfer and 2 sets of a 15-cent transfer. And then I have my way of doing it to where I basically line them up to where it's like still like layering. I layer them. So most companies and how they became popular is what's called 15-cent transfers. That was normally a 9 by 12.75. Whatever design that you can fit, turn it landscape, portrait, whatever. You pay 15 cents per transfer, no matter how many you order. And the setup fee was like $25. Now I think it might be like $30. So it used to be where you can get 100 transfers, single color, single image. You can get 100 of them for $35 plus shipping. Now it may average like, so now most companies have like a minimum. I think you only get the 15 with some of the companies once you do 76 or more. If you do like 1 to 75, I think instead of it being 15, it might be like 20 cents or 25 cents or something like that. Like they've changed their minimums over the years. But if you do a single color, so let's say if I had this one and I'm going to do a bunch of just this Pericles and the number on the back, and I was doing it for like my whole family, I could order the gold ones and I would pay a $25 to $30 setup fee. and each transfer, whether I ordered 25 or if I ordered 100 of them, would be 15 cents. If you did a 12 by 12 size, it back in the day, it was like 20 cents for the transfer. The setup fee was like $35. If you do a 2-color, the setup fee is like $60, which is kind of weird to me, but because you go from just $25 and then the next setup fee, like it was $60. Like it wasn't like $50 if it was 2 colors. It was like $60. And I'm like, why am I going to pay an extra $10 for you to set up? Like it was only $25 for the one. So that's one of the reasons why I did individual ones, because I'm instantly saving $10 on the setup fee because it was like $60. If you did a full color, 3 colors, it was like $80, to do that, because they have to have a screen for each color. So just depends on which company you go to. On average, single colors, either 15 or 20 cents, or 20 to like 30 cents, depending on how many you're ordering, and then a setup fee. These work best if you're going to do at least 25. Well, back in the day, it was like 25 or more. That was my number, because the setup fee was $25. I'm like, okay, if I do 25 of them and they're each 15 cents, that means that each transfer is $1.15. It made it easier for me to calculate the price for an order because I knew exactly how much they would cost. Once you go to 50, now it's like 50 cents plus the 50. Like it was easier to know. Like if you end up ordering like 100, that $25 setup fee becomes very minute if you're ordering a bunch. I was trying to find the shirt where I had to order 350 transfers. That $25 meant nothing. It was all single color. I had to order 350 of them. So that's kind of like how this is. Now, there's going to be some where, like, let's say this one was a regular screen print. I don't think this wasn't a screen print transfer. But like, you see how small this is right here, like this color? If you were ordering this in a screen print transfer, you could probably do this whole thing, pay $25, get this where it would be the smaller one. It definitely you wouldn't need a 12 by 12 for this. This could have been on a 9 by 12 and 3/4 because it's not that long. So I would pay 15 cents for it. And then for this little bit of pink right here, I mean, I could set it up as a 2-color, but I'm going to end up paying more. Even if, let's say, this right here was a 12 by 12, I can take this one and pay for a 15-cent transfer. I got to go get the what's name. I forgot. I got to go to Florida Flex. I almost forgot about that. So I can pay for a 15-cent transfer for those, and I would be able to line it up if I did this one. Now, I did some shirts. So the white one, this was the first time I did screen print transfers, and I got these from Stahl's Transfer Express. They don't do a 15-cent transfer. They just have like a regular one. And it just depends on how many you are ordering, determines like the cost. The setup fee, when you first look, like their setup fee is kind of built into it. So this one right here may have cost me like 75 cents or something like that for the white, I think, somewhere in there. And then the glitter one, same thing. So some companies like Stahl's, they don't have a 15 cent. Not all screen print transfer companies do. Stahl's was the very first company that I used. And then I found out about the 15-cent ones just in doing a Google search. And then like they came up, and I ordered from FM Expressions. And then a few years later, 613 came around. So those are pretty much my go-tos. TKO is here, but I haven't tried theirs yet. So a lot of people adopted that whole 15, 20-cent transfer thing. But this was the very, very first one that I ordered, and it was just a single color white and then the gold metallic. And you can't put these two styles together like on one sheet, because one is a cold peel, one is a goof print hot peel. So I had to layer. So the very first time I did these, I layered this on here. So that was that. So this was my very, very first time using screen print transfers. And then like I got this one, even though it's embroidery, I only did this to show like, let's say you got you have a single color, single image, but then you also can do a full color, single image. So this has a design here and it has a design here. On a single image transfer, which is going to be like their most cost effective way, you would not be able to put this design and this one, even though they're small, they both would fit on a 9 by 12.75. They're two different designs. So you could not get them to fit on one unless you made it appear like they were the same, but then you have to do a whole lot of cutting down and trimming, because it, like, if it's the same design, it can't have like a certain amount of space in between it, because then they're going to see that, oh, you're just trying to get two different designs, and they will charge you for it and just put them as two different designs. But yeah, this is something where if you had a gang sheet and you order at their regular price, which they could average anywhere, depending on how many you're ordering, from 75 cents to like $2, you would be able to put these on a gang sheet. And their gang sheets can range from, they don't have to be a 9 by whatever. They have some gang sheets that are like smaller that would fit both of these on it, but you're still going to pay more than 15 cents. So sometimes it still comes out better to just do the single image transfer, depending on how many you're ordering. So I have literally a whole class about that, because it's that much information to process and understand. I have a whole class about that. Where do you order transfers so cheap? Like right now, there are so many companies that have adopted the anywhere from 15 to 25-cent transfer for single color, single image, depending on the size. You have FM Expression, 613 Originals, TKO, is it Coleman or Howard's? Oh God, what's the other one from? There's another one that Image somebody. Oh God, I met them at Impressions, but now there's a bunch of them. Supercolor, Supercolor doesn't do like 15-cent transfers or whatever. They just do like the regular ones. So you have them, and you have like TKO has regular ones. Stalls is like another company. But if you do a search, there's quite a few companies that adopted. Like after FM Expression, Frank and Mary, once they kind of did that whole setup, a lot of other companies followed suit. A lot of companies. And that's why so when you're buying the transfers, like people, again, not knocking anyone's hustle, because it is still convenient for some to not buy in bulk. Like having to pay. Okay, so imagine if, like I said, back in the day, you could get 100 transfers of all the same thing for like $35 or whatever. Now, would you be able to do the same thing like boarding transfers to someone? No, but you can try out a variety of them. You're not having to get one. So the transfer business still works for people who just kind of want to try out certain things to see if it works before you invest in a whole bunch of them. If it's just like generic design, like you're going to do something that says like faith or love club, self-love, before you go and buy a whole bunch of them and then now you're stuck with them, some people may choose to get, dip their toe in the water, kind of get a feel of it, and order these transfers. They can try out a bunch of different ones. So it's like getting like a bundle set. But that's all that they're doing. They are creating designs in Silhouette Studio, Canva, whoever, whatever, and they are submitting it, and they're placing orders for 500, 1,000. I know some people like they had a really, really, really popular group. They still have a group where they basically was just like people would go there for like whatever the latest transfer was. And they were ordering like 5,000 transfers of like one design. And then they're selling them at like for $1, $2 or whatever. So that's anybody that you see doing these transfers. Most of them don't have a screen print set up in their home. They are ordering from 613 Original, TKO, FM Expression, Howard's, Coleman. I always forget them mixed up. I think it's Howard's. They're ordering from them and paying 15 cents by the time, like if you're ordering, let's say if somebody was ordering like 5,000 of these, 5,000 times, even the most, like the bigger one, let's just say 20 cents, right? So that's I'm sorry, that was 500. So for 5,000, I mean, even 500. So let's say we did 500 times 0.2. That will cost them only $100. The setup fee is going to be the same. So that's like 25. By then, they probably got free shipping. So they have 125 of these. So that comes out to basically 25 cents a transfer. After they pay for the setup fee, all of that, all in 25 cents. Even if they had to pay for shipping, let's just say it was 125 plus on the high end $18 for shipping, 143 divided by 500. So let's just say 29 cents per transfer. If they sell it to you for $1, if they got it for 25 cents, they're making 75 cents, and they did absolutely no work. They did not have to make it. They didn't have to weed up. They didn't have to have any equipment whatsoever. They're just selling it, packaging it up. Now, by the time they add like their packaging for their poly mailer, all of this, they might be able to, let's say they made 50 cents, 60 cents a transfer. So 60, and they sold all 500 of those. So they've made $300, and all they did was create a design. That's it. But it seems easy when you say that, buy some 15 cent, 20 cent transfers. You don't have to do any work, no equipment, whatever. You're just going to sell them. You can make $300 like that. No work. But the work comes in. How long do you have to be online? How long do you have to advertise in these things to make that money? So if you attach your time to advertise for or to build this group and to get that audience of people, like your website. So now now it's like all of the business stuff. So from just one transfer, that's not going to be able to like hold you, because you still have to, how are you selling it? You may want to, you're going to have a website. So you have to take that transaction. So you might end up with, from selling it for $1, by the time you do the transfers, all of the overhead, they may end up like profiting after paying for the website, the marketing, or whatever, that could potentially go into their pocket. Let's just say if it was 25 cents. So they sold all of them $125 and did not have any equipment. That's kind of how that works. Thank you for the information. We are doing shirts for a charity ride and needing shirts. How many colors is on the shirt? So you see, when we're doing stuff like giveaways, they limit it to one color. On the back of the other one, they had two. They had a red and they had a white. So if it's something like that for a charity, they're not looking to spend, $20 on like a custom shirt. They want something that's going to be inexpensive. And if you can go to where you just do the design, charge a separate design fee, you do your transfers, these apply in literally 7 to 10 seconds. There's no need for a second press. If you're applying it correctly, most times when it comes to screen printing, you don't really have to do a second press. Even if you do, they're a hot peel and you're doing an immediate press. So it's like really it's not a lot of work. And you can still, generate a good profit. If you need help, you can always book a one-on-one session with me and walk you through like the design, because there is a certain way the design has to be made. You don't want it to be too thin. They'll tell you it's a certain point size that like it needs to be, spacing in between things needs to be a certain point size, because they are going to use a large mesh. Okay, like I said, I know something about everything. Like I've been like, when it comes to like screen printing, there's a difference in the mesh count, getting finer details. But for these transfers, they're not using a high mesh count with like basically smaller holes for more detail. They're using like your average one, which means you can't do things that are super, super detailed. That's why on this one, if I were to print this out, you would see more detail in this, but you see like it looks all kind of meshed together. If you were to see this font like just on screen, there's spacing in between. It's like this. It's like a grunge type font, but when you're doing it with screen printing, because it's a thicker screen or mesh size, all of this meshes together, and like the letters can look thick and not really appealing. But I wasn't, I mean, for what this was, I wasn't too worried about that. But you have to be mindful of things like that, like the size. Like right here, you don't really see the detail of the ball because that space was too small. So you can book a one-on-one session with me, but I also have a class that I've gone over that as well. Black lettering with a color paint, with a color print of a bear with a motorcycle. Can you mix DTF with? So, I mean, if you're going to do DTF, you might as well just do DTF. There's no sense in mixing the two, because DTF, you will be able to do all of those things. It's going to print it and then just, yeah, it makes no sense to pay a separate setup fee and mix DTF and screen printing. Yeah, if you're saying a color print of a bear, then DTF is probably going to be your better option, unless it's a significant amount. There is a full color option. So I'll tell you the full color option. Let's just go to the original, well, one of the originals, FM Expressions. I think it's easier to see their pricing. Full color, 12 by 12. It's an $85 setup fee. It's a minimum of, like, it starts at 50 transfers. Anything less than 50, you're not going to be able to utilize this particular service. And that's where the DTF comes in, because they have smaller minimums. So you're going to be at, like, it starts at 50 to 74 of them. They are $2.75 each, which can still come out less than what it would be for a DTF print. You could not do, like, if you needed to do a full 12 by 12, you could not do that with the average DTF prints, because most companies that I know of, when it comes to DTF, they're doing no more than 22 inches wide. The film is 24 inches, but you cannot do 12 and 12 to do the 24. You have 22 inches to really work with. And if they have the one that puts that colored line down the side, you really only have 21 and a half inches to work with. So you would not be able to do two 12 by 12 side by side. So that means you have to find something else to kind of put there, but you're just going straight down. So it's going to take however many feet to do 50 of them. So with this one, you're doing 12 by 12, it's $85. Okay, wait, let's first do 50 times 275. That's $137.50 plus 85, 222. That might be free shipping, but if not, let's just say $15 for shipping. So that's $237.50. So all in with shipping and the fee, 50 of them. That don't seem right. Hold on. Oh, well, yeah, because it's 85, because then there's like $1, and then, yeah. So all in, it comes out to $4.75. Yeah, $4.75 each transfer if you're doing 50 of them. If you're doing, let's say the higher end, 74. So 74 times 275 equals plus 85 plus 15 divided by 74. So that comes out to $4.10 per transfer if you were up to like 74 of them. If you do, like, literally go up one more to 75, 75 times 185 equals plus 85 plus 15 divided by 75. That, like, it would make no sense to get 74 of these. Like, I mean, even to get like 60, it's like, it's kind of pointless because you're already paying more. Like, if you had like a little bit of extra money, whatever, because it comes out to $238.75 to get 75 of them. Actually, still come out better, like getting 75, because when it was just when it was 74 of them, you would pay $203.50 for just the transfers, the $85 and the shipping. You would be paying $303.50 just to order 50 of them. Ordering 75, you're already paying you're paying for just the 75 prints. Actually, if you did 50, it was actually more. 50 was $237. So for 50 prints, $237 all in, or you can be at $238, so $1 more, and get 75 of them because of the price break. And then they come out to $3.18. If you were to do 50, so 50, let's just say each one is going to be, let's just say, give it a buffer, so 12.5 inches. So 50 times 12.5 equals 625 inches. So that's 52 feet. You have to look at it and see how much someone is charging for 52 feet. I guarantee you're going to be paying more than that, and then you still have to cut them down. So you just have to look at it. So if you wanted to do full color screen print transfers, you can literally do all of that. The colored bear, the black ink, all of that. As long as you're willing to order 75, that's how much you're going to pay. So I just gave you a class for free. All right, it's been 2 hours. I thank you guys so very much. Hopefully this was helpful for you guys. If it was, please be sure to give this video a thumbs up. Share it with someone. Even if it's not this specific video, let others know, like, look, if you want real answers that's going to help your business, that's not a scam, like this chick is the real deal. She knows a little bit about a lot of it, or a lot of it about a little bit, however you want to say it. All I ask is, help the platform grow by referring us to others. I would love to be able to see my subscription count go up because I provide a lot of value. Yes, I know the videos can be long, but it's long because I'm on here just answering questions. And if you guys want, you can help somebody out. Y'all can do a timestamp. I'm not going to do a timestamp because y'all not paying me to do timestamps for stuff like this. But if you feel so inclined, make a comment, put a time, like the information that you need. When you come on and you're watching the videos, if it's a longer video, you get to it, you write a comment that it's this and you put the timestamp on it. Trust me, it'll help somebody else. All right. But I thank you guys so very much for joining. Visit our website, enroll in our classes. They are well worth it. They are affordable for the value that you get and the fact that it's something that's going to help. Every class that I've ever taught is never just for that thing. You can literally take that information and that guidance and apply it to just about anything in your creative journey. So check out our website. We have digital products. If you're into sublimation, we have the best sublimation paper, 365 degrees, 30 seconds, 325 degrees, 60 seconds for certain things. We have classes on there, digital files. There's a lot on our website. Support us the same way that we are supporting you and your endeavors by helping you cut some of that red tape, helping you get to your goals easier, helping you to understand it and break it down, be able to save money like on the order like this. And all we ask is that you at least share the love by liking the video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to our YouTube channels, tell someone else, share it out. Even if you only share it on your page for 24 hours, maybe somebody who needs information will find us. So if you're watching on Facebook, hit share. You can always go back and delete it, but at least share it out. That just helps us grow. And it keeps me motivated to do this because every other week, I really, really want to give up. I'm just saying, like, it's a lot different now than when I started this 10 years ago. All right. So until next time, guys, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace. You guys are very, very welcome.